personal journey with grief and caregiving really started back in 2022. I would say September of 2022, when my mother was experiencing a shortness of breath. And we took her to the hospital on Labor Day 2022. And her doctor said that if we had waited any longer, she may not be here with us. And so immediately she started a regimen of oxygen. It wouldn't be until later that we would discover that she had a spot on her lung. And once we cleared the double pneumonia and the pulmonary embolism, there was unfortunately lung cancer. She would go into hospice, and March 5th, 2024 is when my mother took her last. My sister and I were there on either side of her, and I say I had the privilege of walking my mother home. My father has been since clinically diagnosed with dementia. So not only am I running a very real full-time business, a full-time cohort of amazing women in a 12-month program, launched a podcast that is entering into its third season, while launching a talk show and facilitating retreats and doing community work. It doesn't fall flat on me that capacity building is needed. And not just so that we can add more, really building capacity, or the theme of capacity to carry the call, means to honor your exhaustion, to honor your fatigue, and to honor your rage, because rage is holy. When we pay attention to anger, when we pay attention to what has our attention, we can really then take a step back. And in another video, I talked about grief and how grief is information. And instead of looking at it as something to push away, grief is very informative. It lets you know at any one time what you can carry. And anything that feels too heavy, from personal experience, you will have to let go. Because I deal with repetitive conversations. I deal with forgetting. I deal with forgetting, but not remembering that you forgot. I deal with having to plan activities before I can even leave the house. I have to make sure that he's covered, to make sure that he's eaten, that he has meals, scheduling doctor's appointments around my own client appointments and places that I have to be. So, some of us may even be in a sandwich generation where you are raising children and taking care of aging parents while running a business or leading an organization. And so when I talk about capacity, I really do mean reclaiming your soul's work and remembering your own divinity